Ever since the tank, I've been consumed by the art. Like me in a room full of pain, and I'ma pour out my heart. Fuck what you think, I ain't the stars. An artist never been broke. I got a wealth of creativity, I'm born to poke.
It's your girl Neosha Lachey. I'm back with another episode of Borntopoketv Ep.1. We're in Atlanta again, and if you don't know this man right here I'm sitting with, I'm gonna need you to take about 10 steps back, okay, and go do your research. Okay, research. I'm sitting with the one and only Miya Bailey.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? So, I'm super excited to even have the pleasure to sit down with him. He is an OG in the tattooing game. OG. So if you, like I said, if you do not know about him, make sure you are researching. We're gonna give you a little bit of information and tad bit, background on him, and kind of just pick his brain a little bit and talk to him a tad bit here and there. How you doing today?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yep.
You?
I'm always feeling good.
I'm getting that vibe.
Yeah, I'll be feeling good.
No, but thank you for sitting down with us. I know you said you was working on some stuff, so we had to pull you away for that.
Yeah,
so for you to even take time away from that is like super dope for you.
I'm honored to do this. It's no problem.
Listen, I'm honored. Are you serious?
I'm just thankful.
I'm honored. If you do not know who Miya Bailey is, like I said, he's an OG in the tattoo game. Born and raised in Asheville, right? So he's from North Carolina.
Well, I moved here in '94.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
So I've been here.
All right, so
About half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah.
Half and half. He's the owner of City of Ink, right?
Yep. I'm co-owner with Tuki.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna talk about Tuki. I learned a lot about Tuki when I finally watched the documentary.
Oh yeah. Tuki, Chris Carter, Corey Davis.
Yes, all of them. And I'm gonna go ahead and admit, like, I just recently watched the documentary. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. And I was like, I'm far behind in it because I know when it came out, like I was still, doing my corporate job or whatever, so I was working. So other night I was like, let me sit down and actually watch the documentary because I've heard so much about it.
Yeah.
But me not being, what I'm saying, in the tattoo industry, it wasn't front hand for me. But listen, I was very intrigued. I learned a lot about Black tattoo. I learned a lot, about you, your background, and like what you're building and what you're doing. If you want to kind of give them a little information about like what you're doing right now here with Peter Street Station and City of Ink.
Yeah, well, Peter Street Station is our community center. It's like an extension of City of Ink. City of Ink, it was, like we growing and growing.
Right.
So we wanted to do our own art community center because tattooing is our foundation.
Correct.
But also, it's like everybody don't tattoo. We got some photographers and filmmakers and, like all these different disciplines of art. And we wanted to have a place where everybody can come.
Right.
So we opened up our own community center with the help from the Goat Farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And P, I don't know if it's your assistant or...
PD, the manager.
Okay, the manager. He was telling me...
Yeah, PD Parker.
Pretty much like everything here, like the artists had to help. They had to help you build from ground up with everything, and that's pretty much how they got their apprenticeship and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how we did all our shops.
Right.
So this was just a bigger project, but every single time we opened up a business, the apprentices, they had to help us out every step of the way.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah, we make them feel better, like it's because it's theirs too.
Right.
They're gonna take as much pride in the building as we do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Great. Okay, so speaking of apprenticeship, I know when you started, like I said, with me researching and doing my research and learning a little bit about you, I know you started at the West End, right? Well, no, let's go back. Go back. You started in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I remember watching a documentary where you were showing where you were sitting out there hustling your ink and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a project.
And then telling how you like built your first machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that alone, cause you say you took like the needle and the thread, right?
Yep.
And just kind of started just picking people. It's poking. So you became like, I guess, like right now the millennials, the tap man in the hood.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
The Tat Man.
100%.
So when did you move? Because you started there. So what made you move to Atlanta?
I was getting in trouble.
Okay.
Like Asheville, it was full of trouble at the time.
Got you.
Yeah, I lost some friends to some crimes. And
Right.
I was just losing a lot of people. And I just felt like it was this time. And I got some trouble. So it was just really
Time like I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I know when you said you got here, you met Tukey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were saying like he kind of helped you somewhat get on the right path as far as like, you know, leaving that life behind or whatnot. So with you two, I know you guys started, like you said, the West End.
Yeah.
And with Julia, right?
Yeah, Julia Alfonso.
See, I know, I did my research.
Yeah.
Dope. So how was it getting an apprenticeship? Like before you went there, like did you try to get apprenticeship from other shops? Or?
Yeah. I went to all the shops, and it was Yellow Pages in the books.
Wow.
Yellow Pages. I went through tattoo, and I just went down the line, and I called all the shops to see if I could get an apprenticeship. But I guess I was a little rough under the edge at the time, you know. But I called everybody, and then when I got to W,
right,
West End, she was like, "Yeah, come in."
Right. So with that, I know like even now with a lot of black tattoo artists or whatnot, and with the industry somewhat being whitewashed, it's difficult in different areas to find apprenticeship. So did you think you had an issue with finding an apprenticeship because of the shops you were calling? Or what do you think the issue was?
Well, this is the early 90s.
Right.
So it was completely bikers.
That part.
It was biker culture was running the tattoo industry. So it wasn't really any room, they felt, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
We wasn't included. Or Mexicans wasn't included, you know?
That part.
So it was like a lot of people just wasn't included at this time. But, I mean, look at us.
That part. And like with the West End, like I know it kind of like started the culture of black tattooing in Atlanta, right?
It was, and that spread it all over because Atlanta is an international city. Everybody comes to Atlanta,
right?
So like you'll see all these different people get inspired by like the lettering style, and they go up. Like back in the day, you see Harlem World on all people.
Right.
That was inspired by West End's calligraphy. You know what I'm saying? By Julia Alfonso. She's the one who started big calligraphy. Then Jackie Gresham down there, he did it with New Orleans style.
Right.
So he had the two Atlanta style lettering, New Orleans style lettering.
And kind of mixing it in.
Yeah, and it was just really, you know, a lot of people came to Atlanta and went to West End.
Right.
And came back with like, I want to be a tattoo artist or something like that. And that's how culture spread it out.
Yeah, and I thought it was dope because like just kind of listening to her like in your documentary, Color Between the Lines, right?
Color Outside the Lines.
Color Outside the Lines.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Color Outside the Lines.
Listening to that and how she had you guys sketching and making sure, you know what I'm saying, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
And like you said, you started like with names.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it started with names.
With toothpicks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like rather interesting to me because I would have never thought picking up a toothpick, sticking it in the ink, and using it because I'm gonna poke somebody.
Nah, you just grace and you just do your thing.
And it's crazy because it's like if you have the steady hand, that lets you know also if you have a steady hand enough to even be a tattoo artist because you are, like you said, just grazing along the skin.
Yeah. You kind of holding it at an angle so you're not directly sticking.
Right.
You're just knocking it out. It's not
that's
hard.
amazing. So starting there, how long were you at that location?
I was there for like 3-4 years.
Okay.
In Atlanta. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. I always worked with Jackie. I mean, with Miss Julia throughout 10 years. Though.
Wow.
Like I worked with her at different shops and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Dope.
She worked for me at my shop. I worked for her at another shop. Like we'll go back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah. Like that's my family.
I love it. I love it. So when did you first open City of Ink here on Walker Street?
City Ink is really about 15 years old now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it took us like a year. Then we opened it up. Then we did an art show. We always consider that first art show our anniversary show. So
right.
It's really 15 years, but it's been 14th anniversary. We did the anniversary show.
Wow, that's crazy. It's dope because like even like looking now, seeing, I kind of feel like you're trying to buy up the block.
I mean, I'm just doing the best I can.
But it's dope because it gives you the feel like the Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
kind of takes you back there with everything you're doing, especially like with the community center, the tattoo shop. So that's the vibe I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing is just showing younger black people they can own shit.
That part.
You know, like you got to show by example. Everybody talk.
Yeah, until you start actually doing it.
Yeah, man. Like we just teach by example.
Right.
Like we're not gonna, preach it. We're gonna just live it, and then you can see it, and you see we free.
Right.
Like we got freedom. We can kind of do what we want to do because we police our own communities. Mm-hmm. Like we make sure it's, do the best we can to police our community.
Listen, it's all you can do. You can try.
Yeah, but we just tried our best to make sure that is a hands-on thing. We're not just talking about it. We really out here.
Actually doing it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing too, that actually see, like you said, you showing them that this is what you can do, this is what you can have. Yeah. And even like you said, like being able to allow the apprentice to have like a hands-on with something.
Yeah.
It gives them ownership.
Yeah, and they learn another trade. Why they in apprenticeship? Mm-hmm. Like one of our apprentices, he was learning carpentry. He was framing the windows out upstairs. Now he know how to frame paintings. Now he our framer.
Wow.
He do all our framework.
That's
so it's like everybody learns something.
Right.
You learn how to do tile. You learn how to do wood. You learning how to do these things, and it's helping your mind develop more.
So you're taking it beyond tattooing as well.
I mean, yeah. Because the whole thing of my thing is style and tattooing. I want to see people develop multiple styles of things. You don't have to, everybody have to tattoo the same way.
Yeah, because even like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah. But even like with your style, like I can see your work and I know that's Miya Bailey's work.
Yeah.
But I also see where you've inspired a lot of other artists as well with your style.
Yeah.
Where they've kind of picked a piece, little pieces of your work and kind of made it theirs.
Yeah, but that's the same way. Like that was my goal in tattooing. The same way, like I was reading a book by Don Ed Hardy, Tattoo.
Okay.
And they was on all these different styles of tattooing, but we wasn't included. And I was like, we wasn't included because the culture wasn't even born yet. But now since the culture is born now, and you got all these tattoo artists is black, then we need to start coming to like how the Japanese how they lay out their sleeves.
Yep.
I'm just trying to show you how to lay out the stuff with a flow like the same way.
And
it's ours, and it's our own.
Right.
Like I don't like the styles I want people to see. I'm doing like every month. I'm trying to develop new styles of tattooing.
Right.
And let people take what they need to take because I'm not gonna tattoo forever. And I need those styles to keep going and evolving. And that's what's gonna make us completely different. You know what I'm saying? You got your Celtic, your tribal, you got Japanese.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got traditional, neo-traditional. Then you got whatever style we're gonna be called out and stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think it's like, why was it so difficult for us, well, I'm not a tattoo, but for black tattoo artists to like make a name for themselves? Because like you said, I've noticed like you said, when you started, it was the bikers.
Yeah.
So it's like, even then, like even trying to like kind of carve a way for us to get in there. Like, why do you think it was so difficult for the black tattoo artists to even make a name for themselves?
Now or back then?
I mean, even now, it's still difficult.
I don't know. To now, it seems like with social media, it's no excuses why you can't do what you need to do. All you got to do is completely just be original.
Right.
Do something that no one's seen before, and it's gonna be something that you're gonna like. Everybody be thinking about overnight fame.
Yeah.
My thing is like, if you got an Instagram page, for example, and you created a brand new style of tattoo and look like nobody else stuff, and it's clean and it's following the traditional fundamentals, clean outline, smooth shading, solid color. And then for me, I throw flow in there. I like my tattoos to flow.
Yeah, they gotta have some type of movement with it.
Because we black people, we like movement, with rhythm. So I draw everything in the rhythm.
Right.
A pattern of like a language. And so it's like, if you mix all these things together, you know what I'm saying? And you're original with it, and all you gotta do is just put it out there.
Right.
If 10 people like it, it's gonna turn to 20 people.
And it's gonna continue
people,
to grow.
And you got an organic fan base, not hype beast.
And I think
hype beast will have you messed up and thinking you the man.
Bigger than what you are, and that ego takes over.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, it gotta be a slow grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you staying humble. You understanding like you understand the business a lot more. It's not just overnight on your face.
Right.
And you thinking you hot shit.
So you think we sabotage our own self a little bit because a lot of the black artists that come up kind of look for that hype beat, and they don't take the time to educate themselves and learn.
I'm gonna be realistic. I try my best to stay out of people's business. I don't really be. No, I really don't. Like,
right.
I try my best to, like, at my age now, like, I think I did all I could do to show improve and to people to follow a blueprint already laid. Is kind of basic and,
just go
easy.
From there.
That, you know, like, some people, I learned artists, you got a lot of narcissist artists. They narcissists.
Tell me about it.
And they only can see things one way. They only can see it from one perspective. So they not doing homework. They're not studying the greats that came before them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I came in the game, I studied everybody because I wanted to be known as one of the best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I got to study the people that's considered the best.
And I think that's what it is. Like you said, you have to study. And it's like you know, with owning a tattoo shop in the beginning, because like I said, we wanted to have an all-black tattoo shop, and it kind of didn't go as planned because, you know, everybody has that ego to a certain degree. So we work with, you know, white artists or whatnot, and I honestly see a difference. But it's like I know, like, we have the power to be where we are now. They have the power to be Miya Bailey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's along with the education. So it's like I'm trying to understand, like, what is it that we're doing wrong, you know, to have that respect?
I think it's just mostly, I mean, we so competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody want to be the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you got all these people want to be chief, you got no Indians. Without Indians, you got no movement. You got no people behind you. Everybody can't be the main person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you shouldn't even want to be, because most people don't want that responsibility. They just want the fame with it. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of people get drunk by fame.
Yeah.
Do they want clout and fame, or do they really want to make some money?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And be a longevity and have a long career. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's definitely, like you said, you can make a career out of it. Because you've like you said, you did the tattoo, and now you're starting.
The lack of it might be my generation. It might be our generation didn't do enough work to show this generation the right
way to do it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. That's what I do my best that I can do.
Yeah.
But maybe it can't just be me by myself. It got to be other older black tattoo artists in the game that reach out to some of these young artists
and try to do it. And I think that's the thing, because
but at the same time, younger artists shouldn't always have to follow in the ways of the old.
Right, because they have their own thing.
They got to evolve, and they got to change.
I
respect new rules with new generations.
Yeah, because it's a lot of new stuff now. I'm looking, I'm like, show me that again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's something, like you said, that, you know, the older generation may not have known about, but can use as well in what you guys have already been taught or taught yourself or learned. And that's the thing here, like, you know, with the Borntopoketv, like, we try to, you know, showcase, like, the black tattoo artists, because the only way that we're going to be able to be known and be put out there is to have somebody put that that content and the outlet out there for, you know, them to know, like, there are a lot of greats out there. A lot of greats. We came out about 3 weeks ago and sat with two artists, Tommy Trill and Ink Fanatic, I think. They spoke very highly of you then too.
Oh, wow.
But even being down here, it was just like, I was amazed to see so many black tattoo artists.
Yes,
you know, like, I was like,
some really good artists
in heaven.
There's some really good. We got some real, like, everybody up really push everybody down here.
Oh my
God!
God.
I'm saying? And then think about it, it's no really a competition thing, because everybody got their own style. And so when everybody got their own style, you only focus on the people that like your stuff.
Exactly. But one thing I did notice too, like, even looking, you know, IG and kind of looking around, you're not afraid to tattoo color on colored people.
Yeah.
And that's like the one thing, like, I don't see that a lot. And it's like a taboo. Yeah, there you go.
Tuki Carter's the first artist I personally seen do breaking the boundaries of color rules on black skin in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So it's like, once I seen him do it, I wasn't crazy enough to try it.
Like, hold on, I don't know if I want to do this yet. I think it was like only 3 colors that you mentioned that people were using.
Yeah. So I was just like, Tuki was like, and this is the era of mixing your own ink with powder. So we was mixing our own inks. Julie was teaching us to do everything from the foundation. Yeah. So we mixing ink. We made this orange one time. And we were like, that orange is perfect. And I was like, yeah. So then Tuki started messing with pinks and limes and all these different colors they said we couldn't use. and he experimented on his baby mother.
That's I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think it's taboo though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're afraid to.
Well, they don't have to be afraid now. The technique, we already paid the dues. And
So it's there now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it ain't nothing to be afraid of now because, like, somebody had to try it first.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be realistic. Tuki was trying it before even me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I watched him do color pieces. It was just the only thing different was I just use a lot of more psychedelic
colors in it.
Yeah. Then I don't use really primary colors.
Okay.
It's like really psychedelic off related colors.
Right.
The lime to the green. You know what I'm saying? Turquoises
and kind of do it that way.
You know?
Yeah, because I know, like I said, seeing it here, like the black tattoo artists are not afraid to tattoo the color on, you know what I'm saying, our skin. But I know walking to, any white shop, it's like a no.
Well, you gotta have experience and know what you're doing. I mean, I'd rather somebody say no than because they don't know how to do it and try it and then you be mad.
I mean, that's true too. That's definitely true because it's like,
And you gotta have experience. You gotta be doing a lot of them back to back to know. You can't just do one person and think.
And then you know what it is.
Like, I mean, white people either got, like either they the ones with the sunburned skin or a little dry, a little wrinkle. Like you got your types, but black people's skin is completely different. Every client, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yes, it's definitely one of those things.
So you gotta know how to adapt to every single client
that you come into.
You can't do color the same way. I do it on this person, and that person. I gotta adjust every time.
Yeah, and it's not gonna show up the exact same way every time either. And sometimes it don't hold the exact same way too.
Well, I can get it to hold. I don't know about that.
Listen, you got the secrets. You know what you doing.
That's when they come back. My stuff healing like you seeing it.
You know what you doing.
Seeing it like you see, heal like you see it. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's the whole thing. Healing is the thing.
Yeah. Make sure they take care of it.
My clients advertise me all over the world when they can pull it up. It's healed up, clean and bright.
It still looks good.
And everybody, that's how I keep my business going. I don't rely on social media. I rely on the people walking around.
Yeah.
And I got thousands.
Yeah, I was about to say, listen, you are an OG in the game, so you have walking billboards.
And I like to keep it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Walking billboards.
I try to be a perfectionist, and then because I want a tattoo even 10 years down the line. That same tattoo is going to advertise you.
Right.
A 20-year-old tattoo I did 20 years ago is still advertising me today. I'm going on my 30th year tattooing. So,
dang, you're right. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And it hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it in my body. I can feel it in my stamina.
You can feel it.
I do one tattoo, I be falling asleep.
Like I'm done. Well, that's it for today.
I do one tattoo anyway, but them tattoos now be putting me out.
I can imagine.
I be drained.
You still get people come in and like we were sitting here earlier and a couple came up looking for you and it's like he's not here. Like they want to come just walk in. So you get people that want to come in and like want you just to do a name on them. Or try to book, because I know they can't walk in now.
I mean, if they book, they can book.
Okay.
I mean, but it don't matter what they do. It's still a minimum of $1,000.
You'll come pay $1,000 for a name. Do you hear
God
me?
bless it, though. I don't knock none of those people that do it. Thank you.
Jesus,
Thank you very much.
That's...
Because, I mean, realistically, it's like, like when you can get $1,000 to do a name tattoo.
That says a lot about you.
I started doing those names at $15.
Oh, my God.
So to get $1,000 to do it like a name, calligraphy name now.
Yeah, that says a lot.
What I feel like, I don't take it for granted. I'm like, I'm getting this money for what reason?
Right.
And that's when the spiritualness kick in because I never want to take somebody like, I'm only gonna take 15 minutes to do this.
Yeah.
I don't feel right. No, I mean people always say, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I did do that, I'm not gonna be like, I'm going to ball at the strip club with it.
Right, like you're putting it back into the community.
100%. And that's where I get my happiness from. Like, I'm one of them tortured artist people. The tortured artist stories.
Yeah.
But I get my happiness by seeing other people happy.
But that's a good thing, though.
That
like you said,
sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And that's why people come to see you because they see what you're doing. So it's like, why not let me bless you because you're blessing others?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that alone speaks volumes for who you are as a person. Yeah. So you've definitely paved and you've definitely made a name and showed people what you're doing. Like you're not just talking, like you said. You actually doing.
Yeah.
You're actually doing.
Sure I put my wallet where my mouth at.
That part.
Yeah.
So I do notice you have 2 shops here. So is there a difference between City of Ink and then the upstairs shop, or?
So yeah, all of them are different experiences.
Okay.
And we got an Edgewood location too. And I got another private studio up here on the block.
Told you buying the block.
So and I live in the neighborhood.
See?
But I love this neighborhood, it's Castleberry Hill.
But
the difference is you can like never want like we know everybody's not gonna be able to pay.
Yeah.
Like here it's a $250 minimum.
Okay.
But it's exclusive experience.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So like you can you can smoke, you can drink, you can do everything you gotta do. But at this shop you can't do none of that stuff.
Right.
It's a street shop. You can walk in, we take walk-ins over there, we work with your budget over there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the foundation shop. That's the shop that got us here.
And you gotta keep that where it's at and keep it going and running.
That's the flagship shop. So it's just like both of them are just 2 different things that you got. Some people like I only got $100. I only got $100. I'm not paying that much for $100. You know what I'm saying? You got those, but I respect that too. I don't want to lose none of that money.
Yeah, of course.
So we got artists that's coming up that want to come there and do the walk-ins and do that. So they appointment only. They move up to appointment only. A lot of times from there they open up their own studios.
So not only are you giving them a spot, but like you're giving them a place to like start, grow, and expand as well. Yeah. Because some artists kind of get into a spot where they just get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Get content, but it's like you're showing them like, okay, you can start here, you can have your own spot, later down the line, or just do appointment only, so you have that exclusivity. I don't know if that's a word, but so you can have that. So it shows them so much more.
I mean, personally, like I like to switch it up. Because like I was like, sometimes I like to be in the street shop, but then it's hectic a little bit.
Because everybody want to come in and see you, so it's like
I be want to just tattoo my client, and not to be rude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You guys like peeping around the corner. Hey, Maya.
Like this person spending like $1,000. I want to give them the best experience I possibly can.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I like to be by myself and tattoo them.
Yeah.
Got my private studio. Then sometimes it's semi-social upstairs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I call it semi. Everybody being their own clients. You know what I'm saying? But it's still everybody in the private setting, and we can be adults up there. It's not for children to come up there.
Got you. Definitely understand that. Yeah.
But downstairs is free, community based.
Listen, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Here, and then I seen the gallery in back. The artwork is like bananas.
We got another show coming out, I think, next week.
The gentleman now, he was telling us about it. I'm like, I might make a trip just to come back.
It's curated by our sister too.
Yeah, like it is bananas, and then knowing like that your artists they're producing, you know what I'm saying, this type of art, and it's like, oh my god, so it goes beyond just putting some ink on the skin. Like they are like true artists.
A lot of the artists that work here, like to work here, you are an artist of many disciplines. Yeah. Like at the traditional shops, like our City Ink shops, most of the time, tattooing is the main focus. Yeah. But I try to make sure, like at certain places, the artists that work in different mediums got somewhere to create different mediums. That's why I want to make sure, like, the artists can work in any shops they want to work, but if they want to do pottery or paint or somewhere, they got somewhere to be.
I seen all that. Like,
then they can get on their tattoo, paint, get on their tattoo, work on some illustration work, get back on a piece, and the vibe is just cool.
Yeah. Oh my god, like, I love what you're doing. Love what you're doing.
You gotta check out Corey Davis and Tukey too sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because I was watching a documentary. I'm like, Corey, I've heard that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seeing him.
Corey's one of my apprentices.
He was your apprentice, and I was like, okay.
And we teamed up and opened up Edgewood City of Ink.
Right. Yeah, so I'm Edgewood. Like,
and that's just it's a beautiful place too.
Yeah, so I watched, like I said, a few of your artists just on Instagram, of course. You know, I'm social media, and kind of seeing where they are. Him and I think Paper Frank was up under you as well too.
You got Uncle Bree now.
Yep. So it's just like seeing the artists that I guess came up under you, seeing where they are now.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot about your mentorship and what you showed them.
Yeah.
So that's.
I'm proud of them. They do their thing.
Me can't help but to be.
It's hard though. Dealing with artists is hard work.
Like you said, working with other tattoo artists, but of course you being the boss. How does that work for you?
I don't like being that boss. I hate that job, man. It's the worst part of the job. I don't like it. I don't like the boss part at all. Because somebody got to be the bad guy and the villain.
Oh my, tell me about it.
And they be mad at you. Somebody got to be that one. And then people don't turn it off afterward.
No, and that's the thing. And
you know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree.
They be mad at you still the next day. Like, I thought we friends. And you work with your friends, man. Right. They be like, yo.
And it turns completely different. It's like, yo, like, what happened? And it's crazy because, like I said, the last 4 years, like, I've, been actually in the tattoo shop and whatnot. And, like, with me and my husband, like, he tells me I'm super passive, So when it's time to, like, fire somebody or, like, get in somebody's ass, I'm like, you got it? You know what I mean? Because I'm the fun one. Yeah. I'm the good guy. But, like you said, like, you'll critique them on something or tell them something, just try to help them, and it's like they act like you destroyed their whole world.
But that's artists, they sensitive.
And it's like, oh my God, I didn't realize like artists are really sensitive about their shit.
Very.
Like very sensitive.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I get where you're saying you don't like that boss type. It's tough.
Yeah, but I also believe like I wouldn't be set in this position if I wasn't meant to be in the position.
You have to take on.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I mean, the universe put me in this situation.
Yeah.
Why me? I don't like the situation.
You don't like it, but
it wasn't part
it's
of,
meant for
it wasn't
you.
part of me manifesting,
Yeah.
I'm trying to, but I guess it's part of being life, and that's a responsibility I gotta take on. Yeah. I just look at life like I'm a vessel, and I'm just not in control.
I need some tips because
I
don't like being the bad guy.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But at a certain time now, I'm like, I can live with it. The older I get, the more I can be like, I can be the villain. I can be the bad guy. If I gotta be the bad guy, but somebody else not like the bad guy, I can live with it now. It don't really bother me that much anymore.
I'm getting there. I remember the first time I fired one of our artists, and like it hurt me.
It always hurt.
It hurt me. Yeah, and I felt so bad, and I'm like, oh my God, do I really gotta do it? So of course I did it, and I got that look, and I was like, you gotta go now. You know what I mean? And he's just like, now, like, yeah, like let's not have no drama. Like, I don't want any of that. And then I've had the ones that you fired that you've done like everything to help, and then like next week on Facebook, like you're the scum of the earth, and you've never done anything to like, help them.
Yeah, I haven't had that time.
And I think that's the sensitivity with me. Like, I'm a Cancer for one, so I'm super sensitive. I'm super sensitive.
Once I teach somebody how to fish and they ain't trying to fish for themselves, I have no remorse. That's my whole thing. Like, I don't feel no way after that. Emotions cut off. If I give you everything and
and you're still not using it,
and you're not taking your resources and your place around you to take advantage of your situation,
I gotta work on that.
That's you. I did my job.
Yeah, I gotta work on that cutting off. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta work on that, the feelings.
Yeah.
Cutting it off, like you said.
I can cut out. I don't really have a soft spot for laziness.
Yeah.
And to me, when I mean lazy, it's not just physical laziness, like you don't want to work. Yeah. I'm talking mental too, like you're not reading books and
educating yourself on certain stuff. Yeah.
Like doing your thing, man.
And I think that's the thing. I've come across a bunch of artists
where not comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've come across a few artists where they're just artists. They just come to tattoo. They don't want to learn. They don't want to, like you said, pick up a book. They don't want to do anything extra.
I mean, that's workers.
That's what it is.
Worker bees. And sometimes you can have worker bees, and sometimes you can have, queen bees. And, you're gonna have all these different things, man. You just gotta play what you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it like, I don't know what type of people I'm gonna bring to me.
Right.
But I know I got, and they come to me for a reason, and we supposed to all work together in some way. It's my job to kind of find out what they're good at,
it is,
you know? And I try to focus so much on their downs, on their bads. Because if you do that, then you're not gonna like them.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta kind of look past that and like, okay.
Focus on them and maybe their self-esteem is in there, the gifts.
Yeah.
Because once you build somebody's self-esteem up to believe in themselves, it's nothing they can't do once you do that. Once they know what they're gonna be and they can see the finish line, ain't nothing you can do. Is just all you gotta do is just get out the way and
just let them go.
Or let them do their thing.
And it's dope to see them like when they actually succeed. So it's like that little. It makes you feel good.
I feel like a gardener. Like, I just
like you've been watering, you planting your seeds of water.
I don't know what I got though. I just be like, oh, that's a sunflower over here, and a rose over here. You don't know what they're gonna do, and all of them grow at different pace, but all of them beautiful in their own way. and that's what I do. I don't never compare. All I do is compare whoever work hard, who don't work hard, but not compare like when it comes to like levels of who greater artists and this and that. To me, because that don't mean anything to American consumer. Oh my God, tell me about it. It's all about. If that's the case, McDonald's would be out of business.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's about, you know what I'm saying? Whoever grinding the hardest, whoever working the hardest. You know what I'm saying? And if your quality is up with the grind, then you're one of the great ones.
What advice would you give like any upcoming artists right now as far as like learning how to figure out their style? Because like I said, your style is your style. You can point your style out wherever you know that's Miya Bailey's work.
My number one thing would come to that is just draw without a reference.
And see, a lot of people they say use a reference. So do you think using a reference is probably the best thing to do? Because you kind of get stuck on that reference and pick up on their...
I mean, check this out. If you're using a reference as a photograph, you ain't took the photograph, then you're using a reference as someone else's eye.
He's spitting game, y'all.
If you using the reference for somebody else's artwork, you're influenced by their artwork. You're gonna always have their DNA in you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my personal thing is just draw without a reference. It don't have to be the perfect eyeball or the perfect lips or the perfect fingers or the perfect whatever you're trying to do. It don't need to be nothing perfect about it. Everything that's so-called a flaw in art is what create a style. Study Picasso. He can draw any style he wanted to do, but the work that made him famous is the ones that he broke all the rules of art.
Game.
So it's like, I make my money by breaking all the rules.
Game.
I know every element I know how to tattoo mostly every single style of tattooing. You know,
and I still go back to yours.
Or many. I tattoo by my emotions and what that person gave me at the time. It might be cubism. I might be inspired. I might want to do cubism because their personality is really logical, and I might see a lot of curves and stuff because the person is more flowy and you know what I'm saying, fluid. So it's just like I got all these different styles. It depends on the person.
That's very interesting. I've never heard somebody say they tattoo depending on the person. Like it
gotta be the person. The person is feeding me the energy. Yeah. It could be the same exact concept. Somebody might get the same concept a million times, but their energy is completely different. Somebody like, I want some Egyptian shit, and this person, and you can tell by their music choices, their selection, everything, what type of style they might want to go to. And in the music, all their music selections are always going to tell you everything.
Tell you a lot about them, yeah.
So like I want to listen to some jazz. I want to listen to Miles Davis.
Right.
Most of the time I say intellectual. And the intellectual person is more about, you know, like the art is going to be completely different from someone like, you know, just put on some rap shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, hold on, wait a second.
The artwork is, the energy, the artwork and everything is going to be influenced completely different. And the subject matter can be completely the same.
Wow. You just gave me some game.
Yeah, so if you study realistically, it's like you can know it's my style because I use a certain color palette and then my lines and certain elements to do it. But if you really look at it, you'll see every vibe completely different from every person. You'd be like, oh shit, he used a lot of straight lines in it. So this and that. And, you know, it just depends on the person.
Okay. So what are your plans for City of Ink, Peter Street Station, Argyle? Like, what are your plans? Like, what do you plan on doing next?
I mean, I think really the next thing to do now is really focus on more merch and more films. Like,
because you don't really have a lot of merch, do you?
We sell out quick. And we don't have a stat. Like, now I'm thinking, like, as a businessman, I'm thinking I got to really start like, you know how you get merch and it's just merch? But if we're going to do merch, we need to start a business. Like, we need a staff. Someone's gonna have.
So you're not having to do it, like.
I can't do it. It's impossible for me to go to the post office and UPS.
Drop off some stuff.
I'm good on that. But if I had a staff of people, then that'd be the next step, and that's gonna create a lot of jobs for people because the demand is that high for it. Yeah. We can't fill the demand, so we can't. Like, we only do it on holidays and special events. We got a clothing line down there. We do pop-ups all the time.
Nice. Okay.
That's what Tookie run.
Okay.
That's what his thing is, the fashion.
So is he still here?
He right there, closet. He probably there now.
What the hell going in? I'd have been in there talking to him or something.
Yeah.
Dope. Okay.
Probably get took you to interviews.
Well, listen,
you gonna
put that word in for me?
I can do it. You do it, man. Yeah, I always make sure I do it.
Listen, put that word in for me so we can sit down. 'Cause I would love to sit down and talk to him. Like,
yeah, he great. He do good interviews. I don't know why he don't do it.
Some people just don't like being on the camera, like to be behind.
I don't like it either.
But you know what? Thank you for sitting with me.
No, but I believe in history. You know, like you gotta imagine Tupac or somebody didn't get recorded. Picasso,
there would never been.
Muhammad Ali behind the scenes.
You gotta leave. You gotta leave something for them to look back at.
Yeah, chop it up.
I heard you mention earlier you're gonna be doing a second part of the documentary, right?
Yeah, Colossal Lines. Yeah.
Okay,
it
so when
10 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna start filming in May, and it probably gonna be like a year or two process. So we filmed literally that last film took us 3 years to film.
Wow.
We went to Europe twice on that trip.
Wow.
On that film.
So what are you gonna still focus on the same concept you focused on before?
Nah,
or are you gonna
the
do
whole
something?
culture completely different. It might be like I know that some of the subject matters would be about like now you got tattoo shop street shots versus private studios right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing, private studios. And you got a lot more women coming in the game.
Yeah.
You got sexism.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of stuff that we can touch on now.
Yeah, definitely like have
There need to be like a whole bunch of stuff, and then you got like reality shows now.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna interview everybody.
Yeah, and that's one reason why we kind of started this too, just so they can kind of see like the.
Like, look at Ryan Henry. He started off Outside the Lines. Now
Listen, I was watching it.
And I was
now
like grown Ryan with muscles.
That's so funny. 'Cause I was like, "There's Ryan,"
Yeah.
because I, know him from daggone Black Ink Chicago. I wasn't expecting to see him sitting in there like you said. It was Baby Ryan. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's one of my proteges.
So that was like, cool to see it and whatnot. So if you haven't watched the documentary, you need to go watch the documentary. Like, you have to go watch it.
Yeah, I'm proud of everybody.
Like, you really, oh my god, like, yeah, you gotta watch it.
So like this one, I love to like talk to Caesar. Caesar's an awesome businessman right now, opening up all these shops and creating jobs for his people.
Right.
So I fuck with that a long ways.
Yeah.
So and then you got still got keep up with Jackie and all the other artists. 10 years down the line, we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, I just reached out to Jackie. Actually, I'm hoping that she'll sit down with me.
She will.
They messaged me. It's like, do you have a number? Because she can call you. Because she don't really do, social media like that. So
yeah, she don't like phones either.
Right. So they was like, I'm gonna pass it on. So I'm like, I'm hoping that she, I do speak with her.
Because she live in Mississippi and she come to the shop.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would love to sit down with her. Just to be able to sit with her would be amazing for me. So they can see the background as far as like being the first, black. Well, I'll say African. I don't want to say African. What's the best terminology?
Black.
I mean, I say African American. The best person black. Tattoo artist. Like, and it's crazy because it's a female.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that blew my mind alone because a female.
She's an amazing woman.
So.
She's an amazing soul woman.
Yeah, I started researching on her after I seen her, in the documentary and stuff. I'm like,
I was at awe of her presence.
Really? I can only imagine because it's like an aura. I'm sure you kind of feel.
Yeah, because you can feel. A tattoo artist has been around the block a long time.
Right.
She done seen some things.
Yeah. So
and she paved the way for a lot of us.
A lot, and it's crazy because I would have thought like more women would have came out, from that. Then
it was still hard. She still had it hard. It was still she faced all the stuff from 70s, 80s, 90s to 2000s.
It's crazy. So hopefully we get that in the works. But I've held you long enough. So what do you have coming up? I know you mentioned to me you have
I got a solo art show.
Art show coming up. So you want to give a little information on the art show so we can look forward to that?
Yeah, it's September 10th. It's at the Hidden Gallery right behind this bookshelf right here.
And it's hidden, guys. When you go back there, it's like, oh my god.
And it's pop up. You don't never know. But it's the gallery. And we're gonna be doing.
Hold on, a motorcycle came by. Tell them one more time what you were saying.
It's crazy over here.
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be called Twin Flame, and it's gonna be about
love it.
It's gonna be about twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, karmatic relationships, and put in the categories of family and friendships and lovers and
I'm definitely
all
coming
these
back
things
for that.
like that.
Definitely got to come back for that.
Yeah, because sometimes be like, dang, well I know this person because I might know this person from another life, and it's just a spiritual, art show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be a full installment. Really
And you said in September, right?
September 10th.
Okay, September 10th.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Now they're gonna have to. Is it gonna be able to walk in? They gotta get
tickets.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. You don't have to get a ticket. I don't do all that stuff. I like to just show up. There'll be limited people we let in time.
So in other words, we need to get here early.
Yeah, because it's gonna sell. Like the whole goal is to get that shit to sell.
Okay, dope. Well, we'll definitely make sure we people trying to get in now. They like, hold on, wait a minute. But definitely make sure that you are on the lookout for that. The art show he has coming up. Make sure you're on the lookout for the next part of the documentary he has. If you're ever in Atlanta, you have to come check out both the City of Ink and Peter Station. And you said where's the other tattoo shop at?
Edgewood.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check
Corey
that out.
Davis, yeah.
So you definitely have to make sure when you come to Atlanta, you come check out. You may not be able to sit down with Miya Bailey himself.
But I want to let you know, I'm not like one of them bougie people now. If you
cool as hell, yo.
If I'm tattooing, they will let you come up here to meet me.
Just don't interrupt him, right?
No, I can be talking about tattooing. I'm not a bougie person. That's what social club upstairs.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not gonna have a whole conversation. I can't do a whole conversation on you while I'm tattooing somebody.
Right.
Money. Like, man, who is this guy?
Yeah,
I love to meet anybody that want to.
Great vibes, and the fact, like, even I reached out, on social media, and I'm like, had my fingers crossed, like, oh my God, please respond, and he responded just like that. So
I ain't no Hollywood. Nigga
so I'm a cool dude. Great vibes. You want to spit out your social media and let them know where they can find? I'm sure they know where anyway.
Miya Bailey on Twitter, Miya Bailey on Instagram. Shoot, you can even just Google Miya Bailey.
And everything's going to pop up.
Research on me. I'll be looking at YouTube videos of me.
Do you really?
Yeah, I just be saying, like, what I did. Go study it.
You ever seen some stuff they say you didn't do?
No. The guy I did the film with, Artemis Jenkins, which is, if you into, like, really good films.
Yes.
Artemis Jenkins is my man who do all my film projects.
Okay.
And Corey is an awesome filmmaker too. But Artemis, he done Color Outside the Lines.
Okay.
Also a filmmaker who directed and edited that movie and filmed it.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a amazing guy, and that's how I met him. Looking through old interviews I did.
Wow.
And I liked this the best.
He's like, hold on.
His camera angles
Can
were
you
amazing.
Please?
You know what I'm saying? Like his B-roll was sick.
That's dope. That's dope.
I like the detail that he did. So.
Okay. And you're gonna put in a word for us, so Tuki, come sit.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell
and
Tuki,
Corey, like, I was going to sit down with both of them.
Corey do interviews. All you gotta do is hit him up. That's not a problem. He do interviews.
And he will respond to me if I hit him up on social media.
Oh, you might want to go by there.
Okay.
Go call him. I don't know how Corey is on social media.
Okay.
I don't know. He don't post a lot.
Gotcha. So I know I gotta just reach out to him.
Yeah, he might respond on DM.
Okay.
But or call a tattoo shop.
Okay.
Let him know.
Dope. Well, I really appreciate you sitting down talking with us. Like I said, I didn't have any, outline. I just really wanted to sit and just chop it up with you, and you give whatever information, just whatever flowed, just flowed. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So I really appreciate you sitting down with us. It's like an honor for me to even talk to you, because I've watched my husband watching you, and then I started watching. I'm like, okay, this is like super dope. So thank you for sitting down with us for Borntopoketv TV. We're the number one, we say, urban outlet for tattoo content.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you. So be on the lookout for us. We plan on, building. Hope to come back and sit down and see you some more. Like I said, I definitely want to come back for your art show.
I'll be honored.
Definitely want to come back for that.
Bring the cameras too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, say less.
It's gonna be nice.
Say less. So thank you again for sitting with us. I appreciate it. And this is your girl Niya Bailey with another episode of Borntopoketv TV with Miya Bailey, the one and only.